2026 is here, and we have an incredible lineup of new roller coasters making their worldwide debut, and in today's video, we're going to be ranking up our top 25 most anticipated.
It's worth noting, though, that we're not going to ride all of these. I imagine there's a lot of them. Like, they're all over the world, so.
Yeah, we typically do a list at the end of each year to kind of compare how our expectations met the reality with the ones that we were able to experience. Back in December, we ranked up 18 new roller coasters around the world that we got to do. We'll try to hit as many of these as we can, but we didn't want to exclude any because no matter where you're located around the world, there is something to look forward to in 2026.
So we're not going to waste any time here because we have a lot of stuff to get through. We'll kick it off with number 25, which is the minifigure speedway coming to Legoland Billund in Denmark.
Yeah, so I mean, this is super exciting anytime you get like a new racing or dueling coaster around the world. This is going to be very, very similar to the one that recently opened at Legoland Windsor. We had the opportunity to experience it. It's a lot of fun, but because there is a similar attraction already out there, that's the only reason that this isn't placing higher. But regardless, this is a great addition to this park.
And of course, like the other one, this will have a giant minifigure, which is an oxymoron, but it will have one.
Love that. We're going to move on to the number 24 spot. This attraction does not have a name. However, it is opening later this year. We actually had the opportunity to see it in person, and that is the new Gerslar family coaster going to Mandoria in Poland.
It's a bobsled coaster. It is a clone of Tiki Waka, which can be found at Walibi, Belgium, which is fun.
Yep. And this is like a pretty unique attraction for this park because this is a dominantly, and up until this point, only indoor theme park. They are expanding with an outdoor section. So I'm sure they'll include some nice theming, maybe some other attractions out there as well. It's like on the back side of the property. It was pretty cool when we were there over the summer. It was completely built. So yeah, it's gonna be a nice fit there.
At number 23, we have a Vekoma Junior coaster, which, yes, it is a junior coaster, but they do really, really good ones. It's Connect coming to Sarkanemi, and it's going to be, I imagine, kind of akin to doing, like, Yeti Trek, which was really, really fun.
Right, and this is the park that we haven't actually been to yet. This is in Tampere, which is in Finland, and this is a park that hasn't gotten a whole lot as of recently, so regardless, it is exciting that they're getting a new roller coaster, and this should be a nice fit. I mean, Vekoma just nails these attractions, and I like that they went for a custom layout, and it should be decently well themed as well. So overall, I think that it'll be another reason to go out to Finland one day. And likewise, another park that we haven't experienced yet but would really like to is Frieze Park Plan in eastern Germany. They are getting the first ever launched water coaster from Mach Rides. Probably gonna mispronounce this, but I believe it's Donnerwind or Donnerwind?
I'm not, like, dying to ride water coasters. I'm not Matt level, like, avoidant, but they're not, like, my number one thing to do.
Right.
But I think it's cool that they're expanding and doing launches. So.
Right, and any new steps of innovation, I think, are going to be appreciated. And so this should be a nice fit at this family park that I've heard is just absolutely beautiful. So it's going to have a Nordic theme to it. Only top speed of 33 miles per hour. It is using linear induction motors to pull off that launch. So should be pretty unique. I'd like to experience this one day. And I imagine that we'll eventually see some more of these start to pop up.
At number 21, we are headed to one of the SeaWorld parks, particularly in San Antonio, for their brand new B&M inverted family coaster, which is called Barracuda Strike, and according to the concept art, is located underwater. So in theory, it should be quite a bit higher on this list.
Love that.
Same.
This is the third B&M family invert in the SeaWorld chain after Big Bad Wolf in Phoenix Rising, and this is actually in a pretty cool location where it actually threads through the lift hill of Steel Eel and drops down towards the waterfront. So this is a section of park that was kind of empty. This park as a whole felt like they had more land than they knew what to do with, so this is just like a huge deal that we're getting another new roller coaster here in like a relatively short amount of time, and it's just helping flesh out their lineup as a whole.
I just don't like the colors they picked. It's giving road.
It's a little strange, yeah. And from a family invert to a family suspended coaster, let's head to Kentucky Kingdom for Flying Fox. This is an exciting new addition at the front of the park over by Lightning Run in a brand new themed area.
If you've been following along the last few years, Kentucky Kingdom is now owned by Herschend, and Herschend has obviously gotten one of these models before if you've done or seen Dragonfly over at Dollywood. I'm not totally shocked that they went with this.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense, and I think it's really good because right now, I'm trying to think what is really there for kids and families.
They're kind of
Coaster
lacking.
wise?
They have a little Vekoma Junior coaster. They have
Oh, they like a roller skater, right? Isn't that
yeah, exactly. They have a family gravity group coaster, but even that has like some pretty solid airtime. So this is like a really good stepping stone ride. And remember, they took out T3, which is a ride that like hung you below the track. So like obviously this is going to be a lot tamer, but it's still a great addition. I think they're going to do a beautiful presentation, and it's just part of the evolution that Kentucky Kingdom is going through. I think it is just going to help completely transform this area. So like I'm actually more excited for what this ride will do for the park than I think the attraction itself.
Okay, but let's be real. The family suspended coasters kind of kick.
They are good. I feel like this will
fun.
actually be one of the better ones. I think so.
So if you thought we were done with Vekoma for this list, you are so wrong, because we are about to talk about the first of many roller coasters opening at Bon Luxury Theme Park in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which has a lot of coasters from Vekoma. Starting with the Speed of Light, which is their family suspended coaster.
And this one looks to be pretty well themed. It is not a custom layout. It is going to be identical to Phoenix at Dino's Wonder Wheel, but the reason we're placing a little bit higher is because of that presentation. Bon Luxury Theme Park is going to be super immersive. I'm like way more excited for just like how they're going to deck out all of these attractions. Like they kind of teased that we might even be seeing some animatronics throughout the park, like integrated into some of these rides. So like I think that this is going to be just like an incredible attraction, both in like ride experience as well as looks.
Luxurious, some
Literally.
may say.
Yeah, they're not kidding. And literally the next spot on the list, we're giving it to another attraction from Bon down in Mexico. This is Delia's Adventure. So another clone. We're looking at Arthur Europa Park, but a completely new story. And I think that's what makes this so exciting, is like we have no idea what sort of story they're going to be telling throughout this ride, but also it's the first time that we're getting this ride system in North America, which is a big deal because like we've done a couple of these. They're awesome.
They're really, really cool. As someone who loves dark rides and roller coasters equally, it's a very nice marriage between the two.
Yeah.
I love it. So now at number 17, we have our first thrill coaster on the list. Only took a couple of minutes, but we've made it. And we're going to head to the UK for this one, to Paultons Park, for their brand new Gerstlauer Eurofighter Draken.
Yeah, this is part of a brand new themed area. They're completely redoing the section by their Gerstlauer bobsled, so this whole area is going to be themed to Vikings. It's going to just make a world of a difference for Paultons Park, because this was typically a family park, but they're starting to like slowly evolve towards that thrill market. And so they went with Gerstlauer for a Eurofighter with 2 inversions. It's only 75 feet tall, so it's not the longest ride in the world. I think the only reason why we're not placing this higher is because we were kind of sad to see that it will feature over-the-shoulder restraints, and some Gerstlauer Eurofighters are not the most comfortable with those restraints. So I'm actually kind of disappointed that they didn't go for a lap bar.
I will say, when we went to this park, like, it's beautiful. This
Yeah.
was like the one area of the park that like felt very out of place compared to everything else. Didn't really have much in the theming department, so I think it's gonna look a lot better.
Yeah. So I again, like Flying Fox, I think I'm more excited for what this will do for the park than I think the attraction itself. But I'm sure it will be a good layout. And just barely missing the top 15 is a new family coaster coming to Hansa Park. We really enjoyed this property, and Cornwall Coaster is going to be the first new roller coaster in several years. And Gerstlauer does fantastic family coasters. We don't know exactly what this layout will look like, but it might be akin to Furlafranz at Bayern Park, which we loved.
We're literally putting a family coaster over a Eurofighter, so that should probably be a good indicator of like where our loyalty lies.
Right. I think Gerstlauer just nails it with these attractions. And
this looks beautiful, by the way.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Hansa Park does not mess around with theming and story. And like one thing that we felt like Hansa Park really needed was capacity. And so I feel like this is just going to help kind of disperse the crowds a bit more. I believe it's also towards the front of the park, which again, they really needed something else over there. Not super long in terms of track length, 1,800 feet, but there will be switch tracks, so it's presumed that you're going to be going forwards and backwards, which again, Gerstlauer just like does so well at.
So for number 15, this spot is actually shared 50-50 between 2 identical roller coasters going to 2 different Legoland parks with the same name. We're talking about Galacticoaster, which is made by Art Engineering, and that is pretty much all we know.
Yeah, so it's indoors, it's themed to outer space, but we don't know what's going to be happening inside this building, so there's a lot of intrigue behind it. And I think this is just a big deal for the Lego parks in general. I want to say they're spending like $45 million on this thing. Like it's a big attraction, and they're opening relatively soon. Legoland Florida's is opening on February 27th. So it's coming
a
up.
month away.
Yeah. They'll have a setting in the queue where you can kind of like make your own like vehicle, almost like test track, where it's kind of like you design a car, but here it's like you're making your vehicle for Galacticoaster.
So that died at Epcot and is being reincarnated
at Legoland. Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Great addition though. Like it gets super hot in Florida and California. I think that an indoor coaster is a no-brainer. So we mentioned Cornwall Coaster. One attraction that we know a bit more about that's also being built right now in Germany is 100% Wolf at the new Plopsaland Deutschland, formerly Holiday Park.
I hear this and all I can think about is Lizzo saying 100% that thing.
Yeah, the theme is a little interesting here. I believe that this is actually like an IP of Studio 100, which is the group that owns Plopsaland. So I'm like very unfamiliar with this stuff, but they just do a fantastic job when it comes to presentation. This layout is fully built already, and we have a lot of the theming already in place. The park has been doing lots of teasing with it, and like it looks so well done. And this park really needed something like this.
Is this Holiday Park?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot they changed the name.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, why do I not know about
I like the
that?
delayed reaction, because I said that like 30 seconds ago.
I am 100% disconnected, apparently.
One thing that Holiday Park really needed was like a good family coaster, because they had Expedition G-Force and they had Sky Scream and then like a little indoor coaster. This is like exactly the type of attraction that they need, especially because one day they're getting a Mach Extreme Spinner.
I was going to say, that is not dead.
No, that's still happening, but they needed a family coaster first. And I believe this one will also be going backwards because it's going to have a switch track. There'll be a spike to it, top speed 34 miles per hour.
For number 13, we are headed back to Bonn, back to Vekoma for another awesome, incredibly themed coaster. This one's going to be partially indoors, partially outdoors, and if you've heard of Jungle Rush, you've heard of this. That is Ashara, Goddess of Fire.
Yeah, and Jungle Rush is getting rave reviews over at Dreamworld in Australia. This is a switchback coaster.
I don't want to know much about it.
Oh, I mean, that's...
Jungle Rush has been, like, pretty not... Like, I don't know when I'm going, but, like, you know, I don't want to know.
I won't say what happens inside, but, like, there's... It's unique. It's very unique. And so this
is... It's like 200-foot drop track, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. We don't know everything that'll be taking place with this layout. I think there is a lot of mystery, but a lot of the track work is done. So it's going to be all about presentation for this attraction. I have no doubt that they'll do a good job, though, because you can see this temple that they plan on building, all of this fire. Like, this could be pretty epic. I'm really excited about it. But for number 12... let's do another thrill coaster. Family Kingdom surprised everyone at IAAPA this year when they announced an RMC Raptor. And we know that it will be custom, but the question is how custom? Because they have a very specific plot of land that they have to fit this thing in over where their go-karts were. Supposedly around 100 feet tall. I'm expecting it to be not too different than a ride like Stunt Pilot, but is exciting regardless for this park that, again, neither of us have been to.
Yeah, well, I know we're going to go because you want to ride Swamp Fox.
I'm trying to ride all the wind coasters in the U.S., and this is one that's evaded me.
That is all you, dude. No, this will be cool. It's funny because I feel like when you have these press conferences at IAAPA, you tend to have like an idea of what's gonna happen or like what's gonna get announced, but this was like I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, there's a Raptor coming to, what, South Carolina?
South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
Okay, good for you.
Absolutely good for them.
Not see that coming.
I feel like this is exactly the type of park that some of these Raptors were really meant for. Like when RMC debuted this concept, like it was meant for like the small to mid-sized parks, but it just so happens Six Flags jumped on it first.
I was gonna say, and then it's just like that is not what ended up happening at all.
No,
but now it's finally starting to fall into the correct marketplace.
Yeah, so I actually really like this edition.
So now we start to get into the section where we talk about rides that got a little bit delayed. There's quite a few on this list.
Unfortunately.
We're going to start with number 11, which is Quantum Accelerator coming to Six Flags New England that was meant to open last year.
Literally, it had an opening date announced. They did test runs.
A
and then they
media day
said,
planned.
literally a media day planned, and they said, yeah, we're delaying it a full year. So they never explicitly stated the exact reason why, but regardless, it happened. So the hope is that this will be open on opening day at Six Flags New England. This is a Intamin motorbike coaster, kind of like ATV style ride, steampunk theme. I hope that this is one of the better ones compared to maybe like Wave Breaker or an Arctic Rescue, more so like Juvalin, right? Which is like one of our favorites.
I'm just like dubbing this area of the park like Orange Land because every single roller coaster is orange or like some variation of orange. Yeah, it's like kind of a lot.
And before we kick off the top 10, we want to shout out the sponsor of today's video, Superior Sense, who's creating some of the most realistic 3D printed roller coaster trains anywhere online.
These are so freaking cool, you guys. Like, as a nerd, I can't believe that we own 2 of these right now.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
So cool.
Head over to their website where you can pick up a model of Ride to Happiness or Stardust Racers, which we ranked #1 on our favorite new for 2025 roller coasters list. These are absolutely amazing, highly detailed.
This one actually spins.
Yeah, literally.
And I believe you can, the little lap bars even pick up. Hello?
These do not. It is not for play. It is
It's
just
not
for
play,
decoration.
which
But it
is
looks
hard for me.
incredible on your shelf. And if you use the promo code EPIC, you will receive 10% off your order. Did you know a clone of Siren's Curse is opening up in Vietnam in 2026? That's our number 10 spot, a ride that most people have completely forgotten about or didn't know about to begin with.
I was going to answer your question, no. I
Yeah.
didn't.
Right? So Vekoma back like several years ago announced that they had 4 tilt coasters in the works. So we had Siren's Curse that opened, Codalands that technically opened, Iron Rattler opened up at Six Flags Qiddiya City. That left 1 more, and for those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, you might remember our tour that we did at the Vekoma headquarters in the Netherlands, where we got to show off their prototype tilt, and it had colors that don't belong to any of these rides. So everyone's wondering, like, where is that tilt coaster going? Now we know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when we're going to get on this thing.
Who knows?
But, like, I think the only reason it would have probably been higher, because if you think about, like, how highly we, like, praise Siren's Curse, it should probably be higher, but since we already know what to expect, we're like, all right,
yeah,
we'll let other things shine.
Absolutely. But if you're interested, Vin Wonders is a chain out in Vietnam, and they're actually, like, Vietnam is slowly building up their roller coaster lineup. They have a Switchback coaster that I believe is a clone of Jungle Rush. I think a mock Big Dipper is coming to Vietnam. Obviously, you have Roaring Timbers out there, Wrath of Zeus, some really good rides. So, like, Vietnam, like, is slowly starting to, like, fly on the radar for, like, maybe potential trips one day.
Can I just, well, hold on. First of all, I would have gone there if they had no roller coasters.
Oh, believe me, I want to go to Holland Bay.
But, like, can we just acknowledge how insane it is that you were able to name that many roller coasters in Vietnam off the top of your head?
And I've never even been there. I'm a nerd, what can I say?
All right, let's go to number 9. I remember I said a few minutes ago that there were a handful of roller coasters that have been pushed year after year onto the next year's list.
Oh, this one's been on this video a lot of times.
Yeah, this one's it's a little outrageous. That would be Palindrome. That is supposed to be opening up at Codaland this year.
Right, so good on Codaland that they were able to get riders over on Circuit Breaker, which funny
How
enough...
did that finish first?
Right, that was actually announced way after Palindrome. Palindrome, though, I mean, it's going to be a good Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. Forwards and backwards, goes over a road. Should be cool. It's just like
They really nailed that part home, that it's going over a road.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's a big selling point.
It's cool.
But
they're like, don't forget about it.
Here's the problem, is that, like, my excitement for this has just steadily, like, dropped and dropped because we've been talking about it for so long. So, like, don't get me wrong, I will enjoy this, but, like, if this had just been announced a couple months ago, I probably would have placed it a little bit higher.
Well, did you know it's going over a road?
Oh, yeah, actually, no. They haven't mentioned that. South Korea is another country that has been steadily growing their roller coaster collection, and this year they are debuting the country's tallest launch coaster. It is called Giant Revolution. This is the first Zamperla Double Heart making its worldwide debut.
I feel like Zamperla has been pushing this for a while
yeah.
now. So I'm happy for them that they finally are getting it out there. Now this is, it's a triple launch coaster. It's going to have forward and backward moments, swing launch, which obviously isn't for everyone. I imagine it's going to be kind of like riding a Skyrocket too.
But, like, I think it looks way more interesting.
It looks way more interesting.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. But I think it's going to be that kind of, to me, like, that's the kind of thing you could fit in that same plot of land, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, so this is meant to be cloned, right? They come in, like, 2 different sizes, so this is, like, the standard size. And we already know that Zamperla has sold another one, so, like, more of these will start to pop up, but I think this is placing as high as it is because, like, we've never experienced this before, and, like, with so much intrigue behind it, like, I'm really curious in seeing how this will go, and I'm optimistic. This is going to Lotte World Busan, which is a relatively new park. They already have several Zamperla attractions, so this should be a great fit there.
It's going to be Zamperla's little Asian showcase.
I mean, hey, and that's totally fine, right?
I love it. So for number 7, we are going to stay in Asia, but we're going to head on over to China to a park called Fantasy Valley that I quite honestly didn't even know existed until today. For a roller coaster by GCI that is a wooden roller coaster with a steel structure called Mad Racers that, again, I did not know existed until today.
The attraction stands 86 feet tall, goes 49 miles per hour. We don't know much about the layout, but we do know that construction supposedly is done. This is a relatively new park. It only opened a couple years ago. Currently, their largest ride is a B&M wing coaster called Da Vinci Ride. It actually looks like really cool, and there's a lot of these GCI coasters in China, and supposedly they're pretty good, and so it's cool that we have like another park that's opening up a GCI to complement their wing coaster. And number 6, we have an attraction that we know very, very little about, but what we do know is it is the replacement for the very famous Mindbender at Galaxyland in Edmonton, Canada. So this is an indoor theme park, so therefore an indoor attraction. We know that Vekoma is going to be providing the track and the layout for it, but what we don't know is what it will do. But there's a lot of intrigue and excitement about it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny that we have something this high that we know like literally nothing about. And I want to point out that like we have a list written down in the way this one is labeled, and there are a handful that we don't have names for, but this one is just the Vekoma at Galaxyland.
I mean, that's all we know. We
we
assume that it's opening this year. I mean, they have track on site, they're working on like the foundations and everything, so like because this is a year-round park, I think that this could very well be a later edition. They haven't made a formal announcement as of when we're making this video.
I'm gonna laugh when it's like literally like for families. It's like top 10.
I mean, and that's, you know, if that ends up being the case, then like, you know, after we experience it, we can rank it. But the thing is that when you take out a thrill coaster, you generally want to replace it with a thrill coaster, and every other roller coaster in this park is for families. So like, I think that this will be a pretty decent sized ride, but I've heard rumors that it might have like different settings with it, potentially like a thrill version and a family version, which I don't even know how that would work. So
what?
Exactly. Like, there's just a lot of intrigue behind this attraction. So, like, This is one to keep on your radar and to watch out for. I actually, like, really want to experience this when it opens.
Okay, so we're in the top 5 now. And number 5 is another one that has made at least 2 or 3 lists.
Yeah.
And this is like a park issue as well as a ride issue because the park hasn't even opened yet. That'd be Twin Mill Racers that is supposedly coming to the Mattel Adventure Park opening up in Arizona eventually.
Chance Hyper GTX, the first one with a launch. It is partially built. Would you believe that after all these years they still have not completed the track for it? They just keep delaying when this park is opening. We keep saying this is the year, and it ends up not being here. So, like, will it open in 2026? Probably not. It'll probably be on next year's list too. But
Stop, that's so sad.
It looks like a good ride. It genuinely looks like a lot of fun.
It looks fun. I think it's really, really funny that Mattel announced that they're opening up. They're like, we're opening up another Mattel Adventure Park.
Kansas City.
In Kansas City. I'm like, could you, like, get the first one done? Come on.
There must be permits or, like, local delays or something. Something clear. Like, this is...
I don't know.
It's definitely unusual. But, like, I mean, it features a couple inversions, obviously themed to Hot Wheels. There should be some, like, cool, like, bank turns and airtime moments. So, I'm a big fan of Lightning Run. I think I'll really like this one, too. But at this point, it's getting a little ridiculous. Our number 4 spot goes to the tallest and fastest new for 2026 attraction. That is Tormenta Rampaging Run coming to Six Flags Over Texas. The world's first giga dive coaster.
This is pretty exciting for this park because the way it's positioned, it'll be like the first thing you see.
Yeah.
When you drive up to Six Flags. And before that, it was Lava Bora.
Yeah, big difference.
I would call that an upgrade.
This thing is taller and faster than Titan, and that ride looked massive in the skyline because this is a park that is positioned right off the highway. You can see this thing like from miles away as you're driving up, and so this thing is just like a beast of an attraction. Has several inversions, most of them are Immelmans, very compact space, but like I think all of us are just wondering, what is a giga dive coaster gonna feel like? And I think it's exciting regardless. Six Flags Over Texas hasn't gotten a new original layout in a long time.
And I think this will be really, really cool. Like when you get to the top, you'll have like this awesome view of the most irrelevant city in professional football in my lifetime. That's actually not true, but it felt good to say it.
Okay. At this point, the ride is like almost halfway done with construction. The entire lift hill drop implement is in place, so like they're moving quite along. So I think they're probably on track for a spring opening. So this will be a very exciting ride to experience, and we will definitely be there when it opens.
Did we already say this, that it has the tallest inversion in North America?
North America, it does.
Because right now the tallest one's over in Saudi, but like other than that, would this be number 2?
It's beating out Steel Curtain, yeah. So
Nice.
it is a very tall inversion. Over 200 feet, that's taller than most roller coasters.
So as it stands right now, the only vertical launch coaster you can ride by Intamin is Storm Coaster located in Dubai. Until this year, there's going to be a new one that we're just going to call Unknown because that's what our CDV calls it. It is opening up at Dream Island in Russia. And like I said, we're not riding every roller coaster on this list. We will not be going to Russia. However, it is very exciting for Intamin that they are opening up more of these because the one that we did do, Storm Coaster, is really fun.
Right. And so this is a full-scale outdoor attraction. Dream Island is actually an indoor theme park, so they're expanding with like multiple rides out there. I believe it also includes a Mahuka clone. That one I think they've actually made more progress on than this attraction, but this is the first of their like large-scale vertical launch coasters that we're seeing. 167 feet tall, top speed 68 miles per hour for inversion. So I'm really hopeful that this ride does well for them, it's successful, so that we see more of these start to pop up around the world. So we've now made it to the number 2 spot. Finally, we are going to our last ride at Bond Luxury Theme Park. This is the big guy. Takwani Beast, a Vekoma multi-launch coaster. Looks incredible.
I think if it wasn't for the fact that, well, we haven't gotten a number 1, but it does some fun stuff, the vehicles that you probably already know. I'm saying this as if it's not obvious. But I think if I was just to look at like layout alone, then Takwani Beast would be above
Maybe, yeah.
Because it looks so cool.
It's gonna do some really neat stuff. And it's already, I believe, done with vertical construction. So like, hopefully it starts testing
what about
relatively
horizontal?
soon. I mean, I'm sure they're working on that as we speak. But the park right now is slated to open in the later half of 2026. And like, as you can see just from this top 25, the fact that we featured almost every single roller coaster that they're debuting on here just shows you that like, this is gonna be a place to put on your radar. Puerto Vallarta is relatively accessible from the US, so grab your passport, plan on heading out to this park when it opens. It's gonna be really, really cool.
And to no one's surprise, at the number 1 spot, we are headed to California to a little place called Universal Studios Hollywood for their brand new Intamin drifting, crazy, multi-launch, multi-inversion nonsense Hollywood Drift.
Yeah, this is exciting.
So cool.
Universal did not hold back with this ride. We've been wanting a thrill coaster at Universal Hollywood for years, and they said we're gonna start the ride at the upper lot, go down almost completely towards the lower lot, just like launching you up and down the hillside. Because of the studio, they had to build these like crazy scream shields around it, so it's just a very unique looking attraction. I wouldn't be surprised if this opens within the next couple of months, and it is gonna be good. And Universal knows it's gonna be good because they've already announced one for Florida.
I was gonna say, take this as like a sneak preview for our 2027 list.
Yeah.
If we like the one in California, then it'll probably be number 1 again.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
But I love that they're going with 2 completely different layouts. I mean, so obviously,
But
like,
not 2 completely different names if nobody caught on to that already. If no one's heard that discourse yet.
Yeah, it's the same name. But, you know, I think it's good that Fast and Furious is getting, like, a worthy attraction. Because, like, previously at Hollywood, it was just a part of the studio tour. It was a part that, like, was always just kind of okay. People didn't really care for it that much. And people definitely don't like it in Florida. So, like, I love they're actually getting a roller coaster that is going to be fast and furious.
Boo.
I mean, that's what it does, though. I am so excited for this ride. It is going to, I think, be one of the best coasters out there. I think it could be the best coaster in California. We'll see. Like,
What is it right now?
I mean, I say X2.
I say Ghost Rider because X2 is
Ghost Rider's good.
a
I think that it'll just depend on, like, what are those sensations going to feel like of rotating through inversions? Because, like, right now, the closest coaster
I've never done anything like that.
I mean, the closest I would compare it to is Guardians, but that's, like, family thrill. So this is going to be intentional directional rotation, not free spinning.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm thinking about times when we've done Ride to Happiness and you're not spinning out of control, but you're still like rotating. I imagine it's gonna feel like that.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a valid point. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's going to be really, really good. So, yeah, as you can see, there's some really exciting rides making their debut in 2026. A lot of them are family-oriented, which really just shows, like, again, the amusement industry is moving in a direction where they're really trying to make sure that, like, these are rides and attractions that everyone can enjoy. But that being said, We are thrill ride junkies. We want to go ride the biggest, the baddest attractions, and so those are the ones we put on top. We hope that you enjoyed this video. You can let us know down in the comments below what attraction you are most looking forward to in 2026. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.